Hello and welcome to Entrepreneur Journey. And my guest today is Wendy Bartlett. And Wendy Bartlett is with Speak with Wonder. How are you today, Wendy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Doug.
You're very welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, thanks. I spent the first 20 years of my life performing, on stage, in musicals, in dance numbers. I was in kick lines. And then I got a little more serious and I spent 20 years as a fly on the wall in a boardroom. I worked in boardrooms from AT&T and MetLife down to little ones like a local SPCA. So I spent 20 years observing exquisite executives do their job and do their job really well. So what I do is I combine all of that information I've compiled in 40 years and I put it together into tools and toys that help people move their business any way they want it to go.
Nice. Like I usually stick to my questions, but every time someone seems to say something that makes you want to ask a different question. And you had mentioned something about musicals. My wife loves musicals. It's like, I have to say, I actually appreciate them too, for the most part. But what is your favorite musical, either that you've been in or that you've watched?
So easy. It's Pippin.
Oh, okay. I have to say I've never seen that. And surprise fact about me, in all these interviews, maybe you learn a little bit something more about me. I was in musical theater in high school.
What? Okay, so what's your favorite musical?
The Wizard of Oz. I
Is
know,
it the
lame.
Is it?
Here's another funny story. I was in The Wizard of Oz in high school, and I was mayor of Munchkin Land.
Don't tell me.
Yeah. Walked around on my knees behind some shrubbery. Yes.
This is shrubbery.
Right.
That's great. You have pictures. Obviously, you're going to need to upload and share.
I don't know if my mom still has those. Hopefully not. Hopefully they've been burned.
What's your mom's phone number? That's great.
Yes. So on with the interview. Some other getting to know you questions. What is the favorite thing to grow in your garden?
Oh, my garden. Oh, my God. Okay. I can't not grow aloe, right? Because I'm in Florida. Aloe just grows on its own. So I can't count it that I'm doing the growing of any sort. But I love growing melons. So last year I grew 108 honeydew melon plants.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty big garden.
It was way too many. I had to give them away to friends. I was like bribing people to take them.
Wow, free melons. There you go.
Yeah.
Sign out in front of your house.
Oh my. Way too many. The bugs come and got a lot of them, but
yeah.
This year I'm only doing 18.
Oh, good. Yeah. Sounds much more manageable.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh God, childhood memory. So there was this rock pile behind the junior high, right? And my best friend was like, come on, let's go climb the rock pile. So I was like, what else do I have better to do with my time? We climbed the rock pile. And when we got to the top, there was this boy there that I happened to like, and he was at the top of the rock pile.
Oh.
So he comes over to the two of us, and I thought he was going to go grab her and hug her or something like that. And he pushed her down the rock pile.
Oh my gosh.
Pushed her down the rock pile. So I dove at her to catch her. And I did not catch her. She was going so fast. She was like, he held on to my ankle and yanked me back up the rock pile. So I'm getting, rocks. And when I stood up, I was this, that's when he kissed me. So I'm like, oh, when boys like you, they push your best friends down.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very, very interesting.
We dated for like 8 years, I'm pretty sure. 5, 8, a while.
I wonder if that tactic still works. Oh,
Watch out, kids on rocks.
wow. Okay. Who would you most like to have an hour-long conversation with?
You.
Oh, well, we're having a
I
half an hour one. I asked that question before, and somebody also gave me that answer. So,
not in front of other people. I would want to be just like, okay, just just your brain and my questions and see what happens. I can like feel something would go from there. That's
definitely
why.
something would spark. So that,
Yeah,
yeah.
get your noodle. I would want to sauce your noodle up with some of my questions and see what people would eat in that. You know what I mean? That would be tasty.
Yeah, that's an interesting analogy. You are definitely off the cuff and full of charisma. I will say that.
Okay. Well, I've been doing this stuff for a while. So after, the first 20 years of saying some of this stuff, you end up making it more entertaining just for yourself to say. And you find out what the other people like to hear. So then you say what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the difference between confidence and charisma, right? Confidence is a solo dance where you figure out your own moves. And charisma is that partner dance where you say, let me make this move easier for you. Turn into my hand, right? Back this way. And you know how to set someone else up for success like you do with these interviews.
I love that analogy. That is an amazing analogy.
Thanks.
So I'm going to go through some likes and dislikes. I'll just say a word and you say whether you like it or dislike it.
Okay.
Cookie dough.
Dislike.
Okay. Hiking.
Oh, I like hiking on boardwalks.
Okay. So not mountain hiking.
Like where bugs are and like no man walked here much before and
Yeah,
look
bears,
out swamp, alligators.
bears, pumas.
Bears and pumas I can deal with. Like I'm okay with black bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can deal with pumas and bobcat things. That's fine. But gators, not confident.
And there's a lot around where you live.
I think so.
They live in people's backyards.
I keep a golf club out there just in case.
There you go. There you go. Last one, cats. I know you have a dog, so you do like cats though?
I love cats, but I'm allergic to cats, so I don't try to get them up my nose. The way, if I found a dog, I would be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Nice. So now I have some questions about your entrepreneur journey. What is your why for becoming an entrepreneur?
Oh, not why I am in the business I am doing, not why I'm doing what I'm doing, but why I'm an entrepreneur and not working for someone else.
Yeah. What's the best way to say this? Your driving mission? Like, why are you an entrepreneur?
Oh, my why of why I'm an entrepreneur is because I understand how communication is a system and a process and how that makes it repeatable. And when you can repeat anything, you have a chance of improving it. So when we understand communication better, everyone's going to get along better because we're going to understand each other. I would like the world, all of the people of the world, to understand each other really well.
That's a really good driving mission. I like that. Have you had any mentors?
How does anyone exist without them? Yes, right. Of course. I have about 18 different active mentors right now.
Okay, awesome.
I just got off the phone with 2 of them.
How important do you feel like that is for an entrepreneur to have mentors?
It's the difference between walking on sand and walking on concrete. Like when you're working without someone else saying, here's where the rocks in your river are going to be, and you're steering your own boat, you could be going full steam ahead into the shoreline. A mentor kind of tells you how to adjust your rudder so you don't hit the rocks. It tells you when and how to hoist sails so you catch wind the right way. Just everything about having a mentor is what makes my business as successful as it is. When I
Nice.
listen to what they tell me, you know.
Yeah. What's dangerous is when you're going alone and without a mentor and you're in that storm and you hit those rocks, then you have to rebuild the boat.
Yes, it's so true. Yeah. So mentors have always been, I mean, I've had this business since 1994.
Nice.
And I got my first mentor in 1991. So I had mentors for 2 years before I even launched my business.
That's smart.
Don't know any other way to do it. I'm kind of a homework doer, you know, like those dorks that would always do their homework. Aren't you a homework doer?
I am now. When I was
You
in
are.
school, I was not a homework doer. I felt like I wasn't challenged enough in school, and
Yeah.
partly that it's my fault not taking the right classes.
Okay.
But that's kind of my thing when I was in school.
Now you have enough to chew on with the business. I think you're an
Right.
entrepreneur. It's enough for you to mentally, work with.
Yeah, I'm challenged every day, and I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
what is one of the favorite things about what you do?
Oh, my favorite part of what I do. It's not when the light bulb goes off. I used to think it was that aha moment when the light bulb goes off, but TikTok, wait a week, right? Wait a month. When their monthly report comes in and they look at their numbers and call me shouting, that is my favorite part. They just leave messages and I love listening to them.
Very similar to me too. That's what I love when a client calls me and says, a lot of people fear their clients calling like they're going to need this or going to be that. Most of the time my clients call me to say, you're doing such a great job. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. So
yeah, can I please have more of that? Like twice on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
It's working.
Now some questions around what you do.
Okay.
Can charisma be taught or is it a natural gift?
Oh, I love this question. It is a skill.
Okay.
Okay. Confidence is a solo dance, right? Charisma is a partner dance. And charisma is a skill that is not only learnable, but it's something that can be understood in a process. You can literally write down, first do this, next do that, mention this, go this direction, bring them over here, and make charisma into a sequence that gets you what you need and gives them what they want, right? So that whole part of what people struggle with in business sometimes is trying to give people what they need when really what they want is what they want, right? So what I do is I just combine it into little tools and toys so people can understand the linear process that needs to be there, the criteria for each piece to be able to move on, and how to build the skill of charisma. So it's definitely learnable.
Yeah, that is so enlightening to me because I would have not have thought that I thought a lot of people are just born with charisma. And not so much that it is a sequence, but I do believe you. I believe that you can build that you can train that.
Yeah, it's definitely trainable. I think a lot of people think some people are born with it. And it's usually just because whoever is that way all their life has had to be charismatic from a very young age. That's all that is. Is they've needed that part in their life, so they did it.
I definitely get that. So can you speak on why it's important for entrepreneurs to be able to be good on camera?
Oh, God.
Not just good, but great, because you're going to make them great, not just good.
Yeah, right. It's true. If you're going to be online, you've got to be online, right? So people who have an online service, the service is them. They are their product. And so if they're not putting themselves out there for people to experience or see or get a taste of, then people won't buy a product when they don't know what it is. So being visible is paramount if you are doing services online. Let's just start there. doing well with that means that you brought your communication to a level where they are going to engage with you, right? The first step I take people through is getting into eyes. Once they get into eyes, they've got to get to yes. Once they get to yes, that's when they can get to money, right? So it's eyes, yes, money. And how well you do with going live and being on camera indicates at what level you're at with your business and making it happen.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So anyone that is out there not doing video in their business needs to contact you for one, but needs to realize how vital a tool it is, not recorded video, but going live, because live is another step up from doing recorded video because you get to be natural, right?
Yeah, there's it's extemporaneous speech, right? But there's an authenticity that people get to see with you when you're going through something ordinary, when you're picking up the pen and putting it down. And also when you're communicating outwardly what you do, that you have a sense of giving people roots for where they want to put it in their head, right? So there's a way that you're connecting yourself well with your audience, not only when you speak their language, but when you speak well in a way that they need to hear something. Like the whole concept of marketing is eyes, yes, money, right? And maybe that's cool enough for some people to tackle. And other people will know how to branch out and develop their skills in each of those parts.
Right. Yeah. So can you give us a tip for those that may lack confidence, get the butterflies before they go live on a video? What can they do prior to going on the video to kind of boost their confidence a little bit?
That's a great question too, because if you're not getting butterflies before you go live, something may not be working right. You should have butterflies before you go live. They're absolutely good for you to have. But what happens with butterflies when they take over is adrenaline starts pumping through our system to get us ready for something we're fearing, right? And we get into fight or flight mode, which means we're kind of in lizard brain, okay? Where we're like, fight the camera, run from it, right? And so that adrenaline needs to be released. I recommend dancing because you need nothing to do it. Or lift something heavy, drag a heavy tree across the yard. Throw a kettlebell around.
Why are you sweating so much in your live?
It's true. Give yourself advance time. That's right, because you do want to literally sweat it out, right? And then get yourself cleaned up and ready, and you'll be like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, nice. So can you talk about the advantages of going live or doing recording video as part of a content strategy?
Yes. Okay. Going live is where you get to be yourself on camera. And recorded video is where you get to be your polished self on camera. So going live and just being yourself authentically and charismatically and speaking well, go live every day, at least once a week, right? Let your audience know. Recorded videos, on the other hand, need to be much shorter. They need to be much cleaner. They need to have succinct language, expressive gestures that let your audience know which part of the thing are we on. There's a lot more involved with that recorded video. Once you get the skill set down for recorded video, you'll find going live almost feels like second nature.
And I have a follow-up question just that wasn't on my question sheet about this, because I'm thinking about authenticity through all of this. And I believe it's a trend, and it's kind of become expected now from the marketplace. It used to be everything was polished, right? Everything was polished before you put it out there. But now I think the market is saying we want more authenticity. We want to really know the person behind the camera. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a great observation that you've made there. The part of doing recorded video is that is appropriate for an audience, right? And that audience, when you get it prepared down to those, what works for everyone to hear, ends up being a bit generic, right? For the way you speak on a go live, you're talking with someone, not to, not at someone. You're talking with someone when you go live and are just authentically speaking and extemporaneously. So there's a whole different mindset in what you're going through, and there's a whole different connection on the other end of it for it. And so a lot of what you're picking up on is that people want to feel like they're being talked with. They want to feel that this applies to them, not that they're inserting themselves into some other generic form. You know, the river's just going by, and do I fit in this river? Right? They want to go, that splashed off that rock to cool me down, and it was just for me, you know.
Yep.
And that's when you got a connection where someone says, I'm in on this.
Yeah, I love that answer. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I can now. We've had enough conversations now. I think I can call you a genuine friend, and I'm happy about that. And I'm so glad that you are in my group. I'm so glad that you were able to share this with everyone. And we have a training coming up. Let's just plug this real quick before we hop off here. But we have a training coming up with Wendy. And Wendy, can you kind of tell us what you're gonna cover in the training?
I'm gonna cover whatever anyone asked me to cover.
Oh, surprise!
Surprise.
So yeah, in the comments below, please put your questions on what you would like covered as far as what is around Wendy's expertise as far as live videos and charisma and all of that great stuff.
Yeah, or send me a private message. I love private messages. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I love them. So just boop, 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 send me what you think.
Nice. Well, Wendy, it has been a pleasure having you on Entrepreneur Journey, and we look forward to that training. And yeah, let's stay connected and talk to you soon.
Doug, my friend, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.